top of the world, about to jump above it. Take it straight to the moon, 'cause we know how to rock it. Ain't no thing you can do, ain't no way to stop it. Now you're feeling it too, let's get it started. Throw your hands in the air while the beat is dropping. Acting like you don't care when everybody's watching. Just keep whipping your hair like that, you got it. Yeah, you're feeling it too, let's get it started. I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Charts off the meter, turn it up, blow the speakers, make them all to believers, break through the surface, tell them open the curtains, give them all what they wanted, yeah, now let's get started. Let's get it, get it. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? I'm ready. Let's get it started. Yeah, I'm ready, ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it, get it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Yeah. Give me something new. Time to break it loose. Take it to another level. Now we on the move. Shout if you coming with me. Going over the limit. On your mark, keep it steady. So tell me, are you ready? I'm ready. Let's get it, get it. I'm ready, ready. Are you ready, ready? Let's get it started.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Coming to a Sobo, South Boston Speedway. They call it America's hometown track in the Commonwealth of Virginia. A lot of history, a lot of nostalgia and racing memories at this racetrack. Even back in the day when the Busch Series, the Truck Series, used to race here, and of course they still rock and roll to this day. It's Sobo. It's on iRacing, and it is round number 8 of the Northwest iRacing Pro Late Model Series. We're ready to go here on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. I am Wesley Outland. Joined alongside is Greg Rentz. Greg, South Boston, this should be fun. This should be exciting. This is short track racing at its finest. It doesn't get no better than this tonight under the lights.
One of the most historic short track racing venues in the nation. 4/10 of a mile in South Boston, Virginia. Wesley, this is what's called the home track of America. This is going to be an awesome race. A lot of drivers love coming to this track in this series because this track just screams short track racing, which is what this series is all about. South Boston's circled on the calendar for everybody here in this series. I'm looking forward to see what happens with this race at South Boston tonight.
Well, it should be a good one. Again, we're ready for it. This is round number 8, by the way. We're down to the final 3 rounds of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series at South Boston Speedway. You know, it's so cool, man. This track means so much to me, you know, Greg, because when I was a kid, this is one of the first racetracks I ever got to go to. My dad took me to South Boston. I remember back in the day when Mason Day Jr. and the family were running both South Boston and Orange County Speedway, and on they alternate. A lot of tracks alternate now bi-weekly, but back in the day, that's what they did. 1 week you ran at Orange County, the next week you ran at South Boston or South Boston, Orange County. I remember special races. I remember coming here during the heat of the summer when it was like 100+ degrees in the daytime. When people whine and complain about being in the heat today, we did that back in the day. On July 4th, as a matter of fact. Remember when NASCAR used to run the Pepsi 400 in the daytime, in the morning, nighttime, didn't matter whatever day it was, July 4th, you raced here at Sobo. And we got a good show for you tonight. And we're ready to go with qualifying as Dylan Huffines just finishes up. There is the Chris Camary entry which has got some of the throwback colors to the Napa machine. But there you see the 1.5 Studios number 15 machine, and he's on the racetrack now. Coming up, we'll take a look at the race information and the weather conditions, but we're going to get qualifying out of the way. And I tell you what, Greg, we're going to see what kind of lap these drivers can put down here.
Looking forward to this qualifying session, Wesley. A lot of drivers compare this track to tracks at the tracks that they race on, and Chris Cameri is actually, he's one of our outside invaders, if you will. Lives up in New England in the 1.5 Studios entry. That is his wrap company. He's the one painting most of these cars. 1.5 Studios. Any car you see with the 1.5 Studios, Chris Cameri painted. But yeah, these guys love this racetrack, and obviously this qualifying session, they're going to want to show up. They're going to want to be one of those 4 drivers to lock in. It's Cameri with a slide there going into turn number 1. Fortunately for him, I believe he had already gotten his last qualifying lap in, and that lap would not have counted as you look at Alex Duda come out in the number 24. But Wesley, this qualifying session, a lot of guys want to have a good performance at South Boston. Top 4 lock in, rest of them go to those heat races.
Oh yeah, you gotta love this racetrack. I mean, it's fun. And by the way, we're in round number 8 next week for the Blizzard Series, for the Trans Service Sim 500 League. We're now in week number 8. We're down to the final 3 weeks of racing now for the Northwest iRacing Pro Late Model Series here. And Greg, again, this is just an opportunity to just do something during the wintertime. This is iRacing Northwest Winter Heat Series before we get ready to fire back up Season 9 of the Northwest Truck Series and Season 3, which they've not decided yet whether it's going to be the 87 stock cars or the Xfinity cars or the Cup cars or the next-gen cars. There's still a lot in the weeds that they're still working on to determine when they go into the full season on Monday and Thursday night.
Well, we already know that the Truck Series is going to stay intact. It's the Monday Series. What is it going to be? It's been the Northwest Cup Series for the last 2 years. As Toby Ritter's, same thing happened there with Chris Cameri as another 1.5 Studios car, TK Tyler Kim out there. It's the Monday Series. It's been the Northwest Cup Series for the last 2 years. It was the Northwest Xfinity Series 3 years before that. They're discussing what do they want to do. Do they want to evolve like NASCAR in real life with the next-gen car? Do they want to go back to their roots and do the Xfinity car? Or do we want to go throwback? Do we want to race like the 1980s, the 1987 Monte Carlo and Ford Thunderbird that are on the server? And I can tell you, based off what I've talked to, a lot of drivers are hoping that it's C. A lot of drivers in that series that I've talked to so far, they want to run those throwback cars on Monday nights.
All those throwback cars are always fun and exciting. Color minutes for drivers to go to qualifying on racetrack. But now that we have no cars on the track, let's take a look at the 411 real quick on the bottom left of the monitor. We'll show it to you real quickly. Heat races in the format once qualifying concludes. We're thinking we're under 25 cars, so everybody will go to the A main. It's a 100-lap feature tonight here at Sobo at South Boston Speedway. So again, heat races, there'll probably be 3 heat races, 10 laps each. That'll give you the lineup. Of course, 100 laps the distance. There is your 411 presented by LSRTV. Now to the right of the bottom, and your race weather conditions, while we're also looking at Dan Lowther making laps on the racetrack. There is Dan Lowther in the 63 car, so we'll see what he can do. But there's also matching green on the green machine. 82 degrees, track temp 83, no change in that, Greg, and the temperature wind speed is nice and comfortable. This should be a great night for racing. Partly cloudy.
Looking forward to this one. And Dan Lowther, he's a guy looking for a win, Wesley. We just saw him lay down a qualifying lap out of Boise, Idaho, into number 63. He's one of the ringleaders of bringing this series together. Remember, the story behind this series, the Northwest Tour, the super late model division that's become a staple here of winter racing in the Northwest, they were not able to get off the ground this season. Just a whole lot of different factors played into not being able to get a Northwest Tour in. So these drivers stepped up. Dan Lowther, Eric Chaney, and a couple others, they said, we still want to race late models here in the Northwest during the winter to keep our racing sharp going into the 2022 real racing season here in the Northwest. So we said, hey, let's do pro late models, and let's go have some fun on Tuesday nights. Dan Lowther, if you recall, Wesley, he won the first pro late model race that we did with the Northwest here on the channel last year. Was the Snowflake 100, and he won that race. So no doubt he wants to show that that was not just a one-time thing, and he wants to get a win. He's got 3 more shots. Could it be tonight at South Boston?
All right, so we'll see here and watch what's going down here as qualifying. It looks like it is about to come to an end. Kenneth Garber is the fast man, 15:43, faster than everybody else by 6/1000. He's to 15:43. Dylan Huff finds Dilly at a 15:49. And the field should be ready to get lined up here in, well, it looks like we do got some more cars on the racetrack. We just got to pick them up here and get them in qualifying. It looks like Kenneth Garber, looks like he is the fast man. Looked like Eric Cheney was going to come onto the racetrack, but see him yet. So qualifying might be done. This will allow us to step away real quickly. We'll thank our sponsors as we'll give you more green flag coverage throughout the night with less commercials while the track is hot here at Sobo. Back with more in a moment.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it?
They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the Community Radio Network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Hey, welcome back. And we're at Sobo, getting ready for the first of 3 heat races. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland back here with you. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday night with us here on your home for sim racing. And Greg, man, this is going to be exciting. You want to talk about short track racing? South Boston can provide it. We could see possibly a yellow flag fiesta, or we could see these guys get to the whip, respect one another, and race hard. And you will see 100 laps fly by in the blink of an eye. This track is only 3/8 of a mile.
I think it's going to be kind of a tale of 2 races. I think at the start of the race, you're going to see a lot of beating and banging, and you might see some tempers flare at the first half of the race. But I think as this race gets going, I think the drivers will settle down, and they'll say, hey, you know what? Yeah, 100 laps on a 3/8, 4/10, whatever you want to call it, track doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it can take a little bit to click off 100 laps in one of these races. So I think right around the halfway point, you'll see everyone start to settle down, and we'll be able to click away some green flag laps and maybe set ourselves up for a nice finish. So I'm expecting the tale of 2 races tonight in the main event, Wesley. I think it's going to be a high-octane first half. I think we'll settle down a little bit in the second half, and then maybe we'll see another wild finish like we did last week with Dylan Huffines and Cole Raz in that photo finish, 8/1000ths of a second, the margin for Huffines' win.
So, Greg, let's explain what you were just saying. You said 3/8, 4/10. Let's explain that and elaborate more. The racetrack itself is a 4/10 mile racetrack. Okay, if you go from the top of the wall, from the outside retaining wall all the way around the racetrack, that's 4/10 of a mile. If you go to the inside lane, which is basically the preferred best line around the racetrack, where you see the black groove, if you will, on the monitor going to turn 1 right now, that is the best line. that is a 3/8 mile lap around the racetrack. It's kind of like Southern National. When we go to Southern National, and that's a real racetrack in Kinley. I started my career at Southern National. It's 4/10 of a mile from the best line, from the bottom of the racetrack to the top of the wall. It is a half-mile distance. It's the same size as Bristol or Martinsville, just in a different configuration. So we do want to explain that so people know that that is a 3/8, 4/10 scenario on the racetrack. You're going to run the 4/10, Greg, if you run it up on the wall. If you run the best line on the bottom of the racetrack here at Sobo, you're going to run 3/8 of a mile. And honestly, that's the fastest lap around the racetrack.
I think you're going to see most drivers following that 3/8 move, because if you are running up on the wall, you can already see some of the marbles getting their way up there. That's at the top of turn number 2. Not so bad up in turn number 1, but up in corner exits where they're really going to be prevalent, you'll see those marbles gradually build up over time as this race wears on. And we got heat races first, so it'll be a nice little preview, but these heat races only 8 laps long. No cautions in these heat races either, Wesley. So these 8-lap heat races, I believe we were told 3 of them here tonight. These are going to click away very quickly.
Yeah, right now we have a total of 25 cars, actually 24 cars signed in. So if you do the math, we're going to have 3 heat races, 8 cars each, and that is, of course, going to line up for 24 starting spots, 24 car field. Before I do go any further, I do want to let everyone know that there was some penalties handed out before tonight's race at South Boston. Caden Anderson was busted for penalties of rough driving and for too many penalty points in the previous weekend's previous race last Tuesday night at USA International in Lakeland, Florida. And for that reason, he has been parked by the Northwest Racing Series Pro Late Model Series officials for tonight's event. And Greg, you kind of run iRacing a lot more than I do. Let's be honest. I don't even have iRacing on my computer right now. I have a broadcaster account with LSRTV, which lets me be able to call the races on the monitor. But you do iRacing, and basically there is a penalty points. And if you get too many penalty points, you are suffered to be disqualified. So it's not, and by the way, it was not the Northwest Racing Series. It was the Northwest Pro Late Model Series that penalized him. I do want to explain that. But basically, Greg, there's races where if you get too many penalty points, too many hits, too many bumps, bangs, if they call it aggressive, you can get busted for that, and that's why he's parked tonight.
Yeah, and it really depends per series what you want to do. I know official racing on the iRacing server is 17 incident points, which is basically 4 really good shots to the car. So it all just depends on the series discretion, and they decided that Anderson just had too many incident points at Lakeland last week and elected to have him sit down in a race. But here we go. First heat race of the night rolling down, Wesley. And I see 6 cars ready to turn them loose here at Sobo.
We are. Let's give you the starting lineup here for heat race number 1. Briar Reynolds is on the pole in the number 12. Dan Lowther on the outside, row number 1. Row number 2, Troy Allison of the 49. Angel Ortega on Tuesday is on row number 2. Starting 4th, David Cannon in the 19. Toby Renners is in the house. There was C. Clifford. He'll start in row 3. And in the back, Terry Ackerman will be in the back there for 7 cars. Heat race number 1. Briar Reynolds and Lowther on the front row, side by side, ready to go for 10 laps in heat race number 1 here at South Boston. They'll make their way down the back straightaway. The lights are off on the pace car. And this field of 7 cars in heat race number 1, ready to go in round number 8. Northwest Pro Late Model Series action at a snail's pace as they work their way to turn 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway, green flag goes in the air, and we're underway in heat number 1. It's Reynolds jumping out in front on Lowther as they go to turn 2.
Reynolds in the Garbage Garage entry, sponsored by Superflow with the Cold Trickle throwback. Gets out to the early lead, but Lowther poking low. Remember, we talked about Lowther. He won the Snowflake 100 last year on LSRTV, taking a peek down to the bottom of Brian Reynolds. Troy Olson, who had a great race at USA, remember last week, led the first 40 laps or so. Bobble by Reynolds, and that allows Lowther to get by the Spokane driver, falls victim to Boise, Idaho's Dan Lowther, who now leads the way here at South Boston as we're already 2 down, 6 to go.
6 laps to go here. It's an 8-lap heat race, as this is, again, heat number 1. Dan Lowther out in front, looking strong in that 63 machine. There is Ollison, Troy Ollison in the Life Care number 49 machine. He sits comfortably in the number 3 spot behind Reynolds. And meanwhile, Ortega right there in 4th. He's coming after Ollison for that spot as we're coming to halfway this time by. 4 down and 4 to go in heat 1.
Ortega picked up a heat race win at USA last week as well, so he had a pretty good showing there as well. David Cannon leading Clifford and Ackerman back there in the back, just trying to click laps away and set themselves up pretty for the main event as we're halfway, 4 down, 4 to go here in this heat race. Make that 3 to go as Dan Lowther clicking laps away. And again, we talked about Lowther wants to show that he can wheel these pro late models. He's doing a very fine job of that right now. Olson in 3rd, fending off a little bit of a challenge from Ortega, but Wesley just 2 more trips around South Boston for this first heat race.
Yeah, not wasting no time. Laps winding down here at Sobo for Dan Lowther. Dan Lowther will work his way off turn number 4. He'll come to the line. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go here in heat race number 1. Lowther, he's got those brake rotors glowing red, but it's all right. Back straight away, cherry red as they work to turn 3. Lowther holds on to his line out of turn number 4. Checkered flag. Heat number 1 to Dan Lowther. Brian Reynolds right behind him. No harm, no foul. Everybody plays nice. We go on to the next one. There's the results of heat number 1. Dan Lowther, Brian Reynolds, Troy Ollison, Angel Ortega, David Cannon, Toby Ritters, and Terry Ackerman, the lineup finishing of heat race number 1. Greg Rentz, we'll go into heat number 2. We'll let you give the starting lineup as well.
See who rolls out onto the grid here for the second heat race. They're going to be led to the green by Austin Ackerman, the nephew of Terry Ackerman, who ran in that first one. Alongside him, TK, Tyler Kim in the number 38. Bolton Garber, the Cookie Monster, in the number 59, ready to roll, with Troy Daggett to his outside, out of Coeur d'Alene, in the Binford Tools, number 9. Bryce Clark, Fatback, back in the field here tonight. Good to have Bryce back. Talked to him a little bit at the State Line Speedway banquet about a week ago. It was good to catch up with him. Nate Garski in the number 44. Starts 6. He's the last car on the outside. The field will be rounded out by Dana Rogers and the Lucky 13 here for the second heat race.
So there you go. There is the lineup for heat race number 2. The field rolling. Should be another quick 8-lap heat race coming up. 10 laps, but it is 8 laps. That's really quick around this racetrack, obviously. They're not wasting no time getting to the whip here. As the field, pacing the field, the 05 machine ready to come to the green flag. We're underway here in heat race number 2. Ackerman gets the jump. He pulls away from Tyler Kim. Here comes Daggett. We're underway with Garber into top 4 as they go to turn 3 and 4 with 1 lap in.
Garber trying to pull up there on Daggett, sitting in the 4th spot. They're all chasing down Austin Ackerman right now, but Tyler Kim taking a peek to the bottom here. 2 drivers here from the Coeur d'Alene and Spokane area. In the way over Troy Daggett, another one who calls Coeur d'Alene home, as Tyler Kim following in 2nd. They're all chasing Ackerman as Garski with a little bit of a slide there off of turn number 4. 2 down, 6 to go.
Everybody right now staying single file. 1 car bouncing off the wall. That was Bryce Clark. Clark losing ground just a moment. He holds on to it. Look at them all at full speed. The train roars back to 1 and 2. Coming up on halfway this time by Ackerman, Kim, Daggett, Garber, Garski, top 5 as they work out of 3.
Right back in the number 93, under pressure from Dana Rogers right now. That's the best battle on the racetrack behind him as you look at 2nd place Tyler Kim. You can see him right there. We call that chopping wood, Wesley. Here in the number 38 as he's trying to fight the wheel and wants to snap back to the right. See if it does it again here. It looks a little bit better there, but you saw it the turn before. He was sawing on the wheel, trying to hold on to it. Let's go on board with him, and you can see it right there. Whoa. He is sawing on that wheel, trying to get it to turn.
Yeah, Tyler Kim on the, watching him there, just fighting that handle into the car, battling. And you notice also Greg trying to get right back down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugging that yellow line as he's got to run on Ackerman. And 2 to go as they hit the back straightaway. He's trying to come after him as they come to the white flag this time by.
He doesn't want to make too big of a mistake, though, because look behind him. Troy Daggett's right there as the white flag falls. 1 lap to go for Austin Ackerman. Trying to pick up his first heat race win of the season. Hold off Tyler Kim. What a nice run for Austin Ackerman. That's going to feel good for the youngster out of Spokane Valley. Austin Ackerman for the dub here in the heat race.
So the checkered flag flies. Ackerman, Kim, Daggett, Garber, Garski, Clark, and Rogers. That's the way they round them out. They're almost 3 seconds differential from first to second on back in heat race number 2. And, of course, we'll get ready now for heat race number 3. So far, Greg, very comfortable heat races. Marcus Smith on the pole, elite. Imogene Chevrolet to the outside. Andrew Lemke in the number 5. That's row 1. Row 2, field begins to roll. ARCA champion of the Northwest right there. Hendrick Cars, 25. Ryan Bloom, Alex Duda in the 24. Row number 3 on the grid. We'll find Zach Rush in the 82. Chris Camary in the Napa colors of the number 15, and in the back it is Brandon Campbell in the number 7 position. And by the way, this is your final heat race. Do what, Greg?
Remember, top four from qualifying locked into the main event is green flag for the final heat race.
Ready.
And talking about the 26 of Campbell, that's a new driver to the series, although he did not make the grid for this one. Only 6 cars taking the green flag. They're all chasing Marquis Smith in the number 20 so far. Look at this little 3-car battle here between the ARCA champion, Bloom, Duda, and Scary Camary. Is a bubble there from Bloom in that Hendrick Cars 25.
Seven laps to go. Heat number 3 underway. Look at Duda under attack by Camary. Camary down to the inside of the Napa number 15. 1-5 Studios Chevrolet going after Duda. That's the best battle on the racetrack. That's for 4th and 5th. As Rush does not make the call to the green. He's way in the back there. Right now, Smith out in front in that 20 machine. Lemke in 2nd. Bloom is in 3rd. Here they come to the line. Next time by, we're halfway home. 4 to go, and it's all the 20 out in front. There's Lemke in 2nd as he works off 4.
Going on board with Lemke. Let's see what he's doing with the wheel compared to Tyler Kim. Looks like he's able to hold it a little bit more steady there through the corner. Again, open setups in this series. Drivers are able to tweak with the steering and tweak with the setup. He's not sawing on the wheel as bad as Tyler Kim was, although he's having a harder time keeping up there with Marquis Smith. Looks like he's able to gain in the entry of the corner, but right there on exit is where Smith is able to pull the gap right back away. We're coming to 2 to go this time.
Yeah, man, these heat races are flying by, man. Nobody's wasting no time, no harm, no foul, no problems, no wrecks. Even if the opportunity presents itself to have cautions, these guys have respected one another around this tight confines of Sobo. They'll work their way off of turn number 4 to the line. White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go in heat race number 3. It is all Smith out in front. Lemke, Bloom, top 3. Greg, bring him home to the back straightaway in 3. Final time.
For the final time through 3 and 4, Marquis Smith is going to pick up a win here in the heat race. A nice run for the number 20. Lemke will finish 2nd. And wow, 3 very clean heat races, Wesley. I think that's the cleanest set of heat races that we've had this season. As you see right there, the results presented by LiveSimRacingTV.com. Marquis Smith with the W. Brandon Campbell does register with a 7th place finish, although he did not take the green flag there. As you saw his name pop up, Lemke, Bloom, Camary, Duda, and Rush round out the field for this, what we believe is our final heat race.
Heat races are in the books. A quick warm-up session before they grid, and we're going a century grind next. But we will get, well, actually, you know what?
Oh, we have a B-main.
We're going right to a B-main, actually. Wow, we were surprised with this. We weren't expecting a B-main. Holy cow.
We were under the assumption they were just going to take them all. So, all right, B-main on the clock, Wesley. Let's see who we got.
All right. Let's see. David Cannon will be on the pole in the number 19 machine for the B-main. Nate Garski on the outside in 44. Row number 2, Alex Duda in 24. Toby Ritter's in 32. Row number 3, is going to find Bryce Clark. Fatback in 93. Zach Rush in the 82. That's row 3. Row 4, Terry Ackerman in the 22. Dana Rogers in the 13. Looks like only 8 cars have made the call. And Brandon Campbell in the back. So Greg, here's my thoughts. I think maybe they took like the top 4 from the heat races, and then everybody else went to a B main. Nonetheless, they're going 25 laps. Green flag in the air. B main to lock into the show. But 24, we're underway at Sobo.
Underway, 25 laps the distance. Here's B main. Cannon leads over Garski. Lead the way early. And 8 cars, 25 laps. You see the rundown right there on the ticker on the left side of your screen. There's second place, Nate Garski, trying to get around David Cannon, who leads this way early. We have not seen a pass for the lead since Dan Lowther was able to get a run there as a little bit of a contact between Garski and Cannon.
And for the moment, look at Cannon pulling away from Garski. This is the battle for the lead now. Everyone else is all single file. You see Ritters and Duda and Rush all patiently just waiting single file. The battle for that top spot. You see 2 separate packs of traffic, and no, they're not next-gen cars. Garski pushed up the hill. Ritter says, excuse me, coming through. This bud's for you. He'll move to second and run down Cannon as they work out of the corner. Garski gives him a bump out of turn 2.
No worries there for Ritters because that damage will not affect him in the main event because they'll have fresh cars for that 100-lap main event as the laps begin to tick away. We are now 20 to go in this B main. Set the field for the main event as Terry Ackerman has fallen about 14 seconds off the pace of the leader. He'll have work to do as you see the field trying to pull away. As David Cannon continues to lead now over Clifford in the number 32.
We know Clifford from the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. He's in the Budweiser car. Throwback of when Dale Earnhardt Jr. drove that machine. Ritters, Cannon, Duda now 1, 2, and 3. 18 to go. We're 7 laps in so far. No harm, no foul in this B main. And I'll tell you what, Greg, using this opportunity for these cars, because I got a feeling they're all going to go to the main. You're gonna try to figure out a long green flag run, or at least a quarter of 100 laps to try to help you out in a 25-lap sprint.
We'll see. That could set you up for the end of the race, Wesley. So that could set you up very nicely. Because again, you turn them all loose at once. I'm not so sure that'll be as clean as the heat races and what we've seen so far in this B main. As you look at Duda right now in the number 24. This is the battle for second, by the way, as he's trying to trace down Toby Ritters, taking a peek now to the bottom of Ritters. He may have the spot on Clifford. No. Ritters shuts the door. You see Cannon has caught up to some lap traffic. He's caught up to Terry Ackerman right now, leader in lap traffic. This is going to be a factor in that A main event as well, as that black and teal number 19, David Cannon. That is your race leader right now in the number 19. Terry Ackerman trying to stay on the lead lap in front of him.
Just after halfway.
Leader.
13 down and 12 to go.
Oh,
look at contact going around.
Not what he needed. He saves it, but that is not what Cannon needed because Clifford able to pounce into number 32. But he catches the apron, makes the save.
New leader.
Lights up the track just a little bit, but new leader. Toby Ritters in the 32. Crossover by Cannon. Ooh, Clifford shuts the door. Nice block there by Toby Ritters.
Lap car all in the way. Ackerman got the chrome horn move out of the way by Cannon. Cannon slipped and allowed Toby Ritters to get him. And now Cannon gets into Ritters and turns into a left tire. They're crashing into the wall.
And no caution.
Wow.
There's the caution. Garski in the number 44
it was
is going
coming.
to inherit the lead. And this is going to change everything in this B main. Let's take a look at a Pulse Poppers replay. Right there's the contact. Ritters comes right back up the racetrack. Duda gets collected as well, and I think Alex Duda may have got the worst of it.
Well, let's take a look, replay again, and you see Cattywampus now driving the car away as Cannon. Ritter's car, how badly damaged is his car? Smoke coming from the back end. Replay one more time. Watch this. You're on board with Toby Ritter as the leader. Turn. Nowhere to go. Up the track. Cooks the left rear of the 19 of Cannon.
I want to go
Those
on board
two
with
started
the
it.
44
Those
of Nate
two
Garski.
finished it, Greg.
I want to go on board with the 44 of Nate Garski, who was right there in the mix of that and got through that. Let's go on board with him and see what he saw out his windshield, because watch, you'll see the contact right. Nope, not here. He's going to be going into this corner. See Ritters push up the track just a little bit right there. Garski looking high there on Duda. There's the contact right there. And then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, what a piece of driving by Nate Garski to get through that.
Understanding that the number 10 car, Angel Ortega, has been disqualified for the race tonight. We'll give you more information as it stands, but right now, understanding from the Northwest Pro Late Model Series officials, number 10, Angel Ortega, Greg Rentz, has been disqualified from the race tonight at Sobo.
Interesting. We will have to get more on that follow-up, because that's a very,
and
very
he had nothing
interesting...
to do with any of these guys on the racetrack.
No,
that
he's
just
not even
wrecked
in
each
this.
other.
He's not even in this race, so I'm going to be very curious as to what happened there. We'll have to see if we can get some more information.
I'm wondering if they're slipping up and they said number 10 and they actually might have meant 19. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm wondering that as well. Well, he's still out there on the track in the 19 car. We'll have to see. Maybe after the conclusion of this B-main shootout, we'll have about 5 minutes for warm-up. We'll see if we can get some information there and from the officials and determine what exactly the call was. The green flag is back in the air.
They're saying, Greg, they're saying that the 10 retaliating under caution flag, Angel Ortega retaliating under yellow on Bryce Clark. I really believe it's a mistake. I think they're saying that it's the 19 of Cannon. I really think it's the 19.
We'll have to look into it more.
They're saying it's the 10 of Ortega. It's not Ortega, it's Cannon. It's the 19 of Cannon that's on the racetrack now with 4 laps to go. He's in second. Okay. All right. So we'll have to find out more on this here. This is all happening in real time with 3 laps to go, with Garski out in front, Cannon in second spot. And they're coming to the line for 2 to go now, Greg.
Nate Garski leading the way over Cannon. See the white flag this time by in this B main.
And this is it, as Garski is out in front. Last time around, strong run for the 44. Does Cannon have anything for the 19? At one time, Cannon was at the top of the pack. He had some contact with Ritters. Checkered flag, B-main. Going to Garski in 44. Cannon will settle back and play possum and take second. Rush will come up for third. And I'm understanding that it is Bryce Clark, the 93, was disqualified for retaliating under the caution flag. That is what we're being told. We'll have more information on that as these drivers are going to get a quick warm-up break. We will step away. We'll thank our sponsors, and we'll be back for the 100-lap feature from Sobo as things are heating up in round 8 of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series on LSRTV.
An automobile purchase shouldn't be hard. The hardest part for the consumer in the whole process should be selecting the vehicle. We have the online credit application. We can bring the car to you to see it, to test drive it, to deliver it. We have all the tools in place, and we've had them in place for a long time. I just think now we've perfected it. It's become part of our culture. We've, kind of taken it to the next level. It is easy, and it should be easy, and it should be fun, and it shouldn't take a whole lot of time.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it?
They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Hey, we're back here at South Boston, about 2.5 minutes until these drivers get ready to go for 100 laps. Greg, we saw some pretty clean heat races, pretty wild B-mains. A DQ has happened that we didn't know about till on the track, and now we're getting ready for a 100-lap feature. Should be a good one at Sobo.
Oh, I'm looking forward to watching this one unfold, Wesley. 100 laps here on the 3/8 South Boston Speedway. We saw what a clean race here can look like, and we saw what an ugly race here can look like. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what will happen here for 100 laps tonight.
Well, it should be a good one for 100 laps, and for the most part, it was nice and comfortable for the time being. No problems whatsoever here. And then we had that wild accident in the B-main, of course, between Toby Ritters and Cannon, and now all these drivers battling, ready for 100 laps. And honestly, you know, Greg, it's one thing when you have 8 cars, maybe 10 cars in a B-main. Now you're going to have all 24, 25 cars on this small, confined 4/10, 3/8 mile racetrack like Sobo. Everybody's going to be catfishing to fight for the bottom. Winner take all. This is going to be wild, I believe.
This is going to be a very, very wild race, especially the opening laps, Wesley, with everyone, like you said, trying to get down to the bottom and get in line in a reasonable position to set themselves up. This is going to be a wild night here at South Boston. These first 5-10 laps or so are going to be some of the wildest racing we've seen all night.
Yeah, it should be a good one. Man, it's going to be a fun time here. We're glad you're along for the ride. And this is, of course, round number 8. Greg Rance, Wesley Outland back here with you. Strap in, hold on tight. The 100-lap feature is coming up next, and we promise you it should be a wild one. Thanks also to Rocket Media, LSRTV Productions. You got Jeff Stabnow, Charles Wooten in the production, handling all the stuff here. There goes Garski. He'll be ready to roll onto the racetrack in just a moment. 30 seconds. You see the official giving him the go-ahead. Just like in a real racetrack there, Greg. Can't come on the racetrack until the track's all clear at the shoot area, and that's when the 44 came out.
See what this track does as they come out for final practice. Garski just going to get about maybe 1 lap in, as there's only 5 seconds left in practice. And Garski's going to get loose and hit the wall right at the end.
Well, whatever's going on with Garski's car. Whatever is going on with anybody's cars, they better put it nipped in the bud now, because it's go time. We're about to go 100 laps for the Northwest Pro Late Model Series in round number 8. Your starting lineup is presented by Team 126 Racing, ready to go at America's hometown track here at Sobo. Should be a good one. Exciting 100-lapper coming up here. Let's give you your starting lineup. Troy Daggett, he's on the pole in the number 9. To the outside, Troy Allison in 49. Row 2, Will Fine. Andrew Lemke in the 5. Tyler Kim in the 38, your top 4. Row number 3, Briar Reynolds in the 12. Marquise Smith in the number 20. Row 4 on the grid, Austin Ackerman in the 05. Dan Lowther in the 63. Top 10, Cole Raz in the 21. Dylan Huffines in the number 7. Row number 6, halfway through the field, will find Eric Cheney, Big Bird, and Kenneth Garber, the 96, and there's your lineup from half through the field there, Greg.
Starting off the bottom half of the field will be Ryan Bloom in the number 25 with Angel Ortega in the number 10. They make up row 7, 13, and 14. Colton Garber and Chris Camary, 59 and 15. Starting it off in row number 8 as the field begins to roll. Nate Garski and David Cannon, we saw them transfer in through the B main here tonight. Zach Rush and Dana Rogers rounding out the top 20 on the field here tonight. Moving to our final few starters, there finds Terry Ackerman and Alex Duda, 22 and 24. Toby Ritters and Fatback Bryce Clark, we were told, is not going to make the start here tonight.
And Bryce Clark, again, the driver that was disqualified. We found that out in the middle of the B main. And, of course, remember we mentioned also Caden Anderson not able to run with us tonight. And Brock Denny, who's won a couple of races, unable to be here tonight as well. Understanding he's feeling a little bit under the weather. All right, Greg, strap in. Should be a fun 100 laps. Ready, green flag, Troy Daggett, underway. We're green at Sobo for 125 laps.
25 laps the distance as Daggett leads him off into turn number 3. As the distance ticker on the scoring ticker was a little out of sync there at first. And Dylan Huffines is in the wall in the number 7. Last week's winner, Dylan Huffines in the wall. No caution, and that's big for Huffines, looking for back-to-back wins. By the way, Wesley, his girlfriend Kaden, watching tonight, she said, hey, if he doesn't finish in the top 3, he's in the doghouse tonight. So that's not going to help this cause.
Well, that doesn't help matters any for Dilly. He better get back upon the whip. And again, there's a caution flag. Caution out. I believe it's for Cheney. Cheney in 76, and the Elite Racing Engines LSRTV entry is the cause of yellow flag number uno.
Well, at least he didn't
First time.
flip it. Look at what happened here. Is there contact? No. And there's a little bit of after the fact with David Cannon. So Cheney is night off to a bat. Not a great start.
So caution out for Big Bird, Eric Cheney. The replay there, you just saw it, presented by Pulse Poppers. 5 of 125 laps. You know, we did think it was going to be a 100-lap race. We thought we were just going to have 3 heat races. Then they ran the B main. Now we're going to go 125, which is fine by me, Greg. That's a lot more excitement around Sobo. And if these guys don't have a wreck fest, you can see 125 laps fly by quickly around this track.
Going to be wild, because again, we talked about it. I was expecting this out of the start of this race. Expecting a lot of beating and banging.
Sound like you have a fan base there, Greg. Troy Daggett along on the outside, the 49. Troy Allison, the Troy and Troy show, ready to bring him back to the restart zone. Daggett will get the jump. Maybe too much of a jump there on Allison, but he is the starter car. Green flag goes back to the air. The Binford Tools machine is gone. The red number 9, Lemke to second. Allison falls back to third. Smith, Kim, top 5, and here comes the 20 now. Clear the way out of 4.
Look at Austin right now in
125.
fourth place. Ooh, Kim in the wall there in the number 38. As the 63 of Dan Lowther trying to put pressure on. Remember, he won the heat race earlier here tonight. Troy Daggett, Andrew Lemke, Lemke Smith on top.
Daggett Limke, Smith, Ollison, Greg, there they are, working their wax straight away to turn number 3. Look at now, Lowther under attack. Here comes the 27 machine, trying to power his way up there. That's Cole Raz. Raz in the battle. He's on the inside, driver left. Behind him is Camarius. They work the back stretch, going to 3.
Bringing Dylan Huffines with him. Huffines trying to shake off that hit to the wall early. Last week's winner at USA trying to make a couple moves on Dan Lowther in the number 63. Chris Camary back there behind him. He's having the best run of the season for that number 15 car. As well, Tyler Kim, 2 drivers up in the top 10. Good runs for the 1-5 Studios cars.
Working their way. 14 of 125. Still a long way to go. Lowther gets to the Camary. Camary goes around.
And Kim in the wall hard.
Big wreck. Reynolds is involved. Kim is involved. Everyone fighting now to just try to get through this log jam. Wow. My. Replay coming up. Well, Greg, are we at South Boston or Daytona? That looked like a big wreck there.
A short track racing at its finest. Bunch of cars in tight quarters.
And while that goes on, Troy Daggett is out in front. Looked like Lowther had the line, and then just Camary just got right into him. Honestly, Greg, it looked a lot like what happened between Cannon and Ritters in the B-main. You hook the left rear. And this is even in real racing as well. You hook someone's left rear, they're going around, especially in the corner like that.
Unfortunate that it had to collect so many other cars there, but that's just, again, it's a product of short track racing. 18 laps in the books right now. Laps quick off under caution. This race 125 laps, a little longer than what we've seen the last couple of weeks. But it's still going to click away fairly quickly.
$19 of 125 laps, and by the way, Garber, a 59 machine, Colton Garber is in 18th spot for some reason. He's up in front of the leader. I think he's a lap down, or he's going to get the free pass. Troy Daggett, Marcus Smith, Andrew Lemke, Troy Ollison, Cole Raz, your top 5. Greg, remember you were talking about Huffine's girlfriend putting him in the doghouse now. If he doesn't finish on the podium, he's now moved up to 6th. Chris Camary, 7th. Garski, Cannon, and Rush, your top 10, as we get ready for a restart.
Here we go. Daggett leading the green, punches the gas. Marquis Smith, the race winner, behind him as we roll off into turn number 1. We'll keep our eyes on Raz and Huffines. Those are the guys I'm watching right now as they try to make their way through. They were in that photo finish last week, trying to make their way through the field again.
These camera angles very similar as they'll work their way back across with Daggett leading the way. And we got another caution flag out again. We got trouble on the speedway. Oh my goodness, one's up on top of the inside pit retaining wall. And we'll find out who this is as caution will come out again for the 3rd time in the opening 25 laps of this 125 lap event. It's Dana Rogers, Eric Cheney right around him there, Greg, as it looks like they might have got together out of turn 4. Oh, he got airborne. Barrel rolls, flies through the air, and then he gets stuck up on the retaining wall.
That's one way to do it. When you're sitting here wondering, how in the world did that happen? Well, that's how it happens. go on board with, I believe this is on board with the 13 of Dana Rogers. Come up and right there's the touch, and for the ride he goes. I think I counted 4 barrel rolls on the back stretch or the front stretch there, going off in the turn number 1.
Can you say 3
That's how it ends for
pirouettes
Dana
and a
Rogers.
half? 3 pirouettes and a half, actually. My. Troy Daggett is the man out in front. How do you do it, Greg?
And for tools.
Yeah, there you go.
In the
Yeah,
number
there you go.
9, Marquise Smith in the 20, behind him in second.
Oh,
Troy Daggett.
So anyhow, he's
Fort
leading
Wayne,
the way.
Idaho. He's leading, looking for a dub here tonight. Marquise Smith already a winner in the heat race.
and Kathy Gregg says doing double duty watching LSRTV and local high school basketball. There you go.
Go Tigers.
I had to do a double header basketball game tonight. Oh, Titan. Okay, I had to do a Titans game tonight. So, yeah, Tigers
No,
game
go
tonight?
Tigers.
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 Arr, the Tigers. Arr. There you go. So, lights are off on the pace car. Not wasting any time. This Winter Heat Series is in round number 8. We got the penultimate race and the final race in the next 2 weeks. Greg and I look forward to bringing it to you here on your home for sim racing. It's Troy Daggett along with Smith on the front row, side by side with Limpy along with Raz. Top 5 runs out with also Alliston and Huffines. Green back out. This is lap 28 that they're working as they work out of turn 4 now, Greg.
Well, Raz with a run inside now of Andrew Lemke trying to get on the podium as Alston, who had a great race last week at USA, following it up with a good run here in the Sobo race. On the inside of Dylan Huffines last week's winner, we got battle for the lead up there. Marquis Smith has a run on Troy Daggett. He led that lap. He's clear on the outside.
He'll make that move on the outside. Limpy now pushed up on the groove. Here comes Raz on the driver to the inside. He'll come after Daggett. Powers to the lead. And now Daggett gets sideways and spins.
And he's off the racing surface. We're going to stay green. He's off the racing surface.
No
We're going to
caution.
stay green.
No caution from the penthouse to the outhouse. Binford Tools, number 9. Maybe might go a lap down. The leader is Smith. He's on the back straightaway going to turn number 3 in his own little world now.
So Smith in the 20 now inherits the lead. You're looking at second place, Lemke and Caden. Look who's up to third. Dylan Huffines capitalizes on that move. He is now third as he got around Cole Raz, who had to check up to avoid running into the 9 of Daggett. Now, Wesley, these brakes on these late models are not great, to put it nicely.
Yes.
These brakes, you have to slam on them just to hope to be able to come to a stop in time. So Cole Raz did a great job avoiding the spinning car there of Troy Daggett. But, I mean, these brakes, not great in these cars.
And Greg, just like in real late model racing, in real life, when you see the drivers using the brakes too much, and I've already mentioned it one time tonight in a heat race, they will glow cherry red. The brake rotors will literally glow cherry red. You're seeing the header fire as they work their way, as they are, revving the chip, if you will. That's the scenario. That's what they call it, revving the chip. When they're diving off into the corner, you see the header fire as they bottom out of the corners. That really happens in real racing. Watch again, the header fire as they come off the corner right there. And then you see using the brake rotors, eventually from pressing the brakes too much, they will start glowing red. Just some of the similarities, Greg, that is done in virtual like real life on iRacing as we look at Cannon in the 8th position right now in the 19th.
How about it for David Cannon? Has to race his way into the B-main, and here he is up in the top 10 right now. Has some damage, but doing a nice job holding steady. Roy Allison again into the top 5 after leading the first 40-odd laps last week at Lakeland at USA International. Here he is up in the top 5 again, trying to hold off Chris Camary.
Good race going on, closing in, believe it or not, Greg, on lap number 40 next time by, as Smith is the man that's leading the way. That's Marquis Smith in the number 20 Elite Racing Media entry. There's the 96 machine. He is currently in the top 10. That's Garber, Camary, Allison fighting for spots. That's 5th, 6th, 7th. Battle for 3rd. Here comes Limke all over Cole Rath to the back straightaway going to turn 3.
Razzle Dazzle in the 27 now on the podium, trying to track down Dylan Huffines. Remember, Huffines got that win at USA last week. It was Cole Raz that he got the pass on the last corner of the last lap to take that win. Now they're 2nd and 3rd. It was Cole Raz. What does he do if he gets back up to Huffines? Remember, Huffines said he didn't mean to bump him at the end there. Does Cole Raz believe him or not?
Working lap number 44 now. 43 completed as Smith, Huffines. There you see them working their way back into the corner. There is Huffines, yes, out of the doghouse now with the GF. Will he stay there, though? He's in 2nd. Raz is the 3rd. Limke, Allison now in the top 5 as they work off tour from a grandstand camera view with Smith, Huffines. There they go, 1 to 2. You see Raz just in the crosshairs of his view in the back. And Greg, man, we got a pretty good lap green flag run going for us, man. And that's what I told you about Sobo. Yeah, we might have the exchange of cautions. But once they settle themselves in, they can knock off a green flag laps run very, very quickly. And we're seeing it as we're just probably about less than 20 laps to halfway.
Already seen it quite a bit here tonight in the heat races, but I'm a little surprised we were able to get going in this rhythm this early. I figured it'd be right around now that we'd be starting to get into that rhythm, but they've done a nice job getting up there already. We had a couple cautions early, but it's been a pretty solid run as Casey Garber cracks the top 5 now as he gets around Troy Allison in the number 49. So Garber in the 96, he was the points leader entering tonight right there. That white and black 96 making his way up now on Andrew Lemke for 4th.
Oh, yes.
Don't count him out yet. AC Garber, he can make some noise by the end of this race.
Aerial coverage high above Sobo, presented by LSRTV. If you're interested in wanting to do some sponsorship or sponsor the league, get involved in a racing league, go to livesimracing.com at LSRTV. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, contact them on Messenger. They'll hook you up. We're on lap 50 of 125, 75 laps to go. We are 13 to halfway. I'm Wesley Outlet, Greg Rentz alongside Rocket Media LSR Productions. And there you see Ackerman up the racetrack, Allison down to the inside. We're closing in on under 75 to go at Sobo. And it's Marcus Smith out in front, one of 3 leaders in this 125 lap race so far, Greg.
RT Smith leading the way. Hey, you need an iRacing setup for any of your racing endeavors here on the sim? MajorsGarage.com has 60 plus iRacing car setups available. Check them out. We have the Major Series here on LSRTV now, and they want to help you get in victory lane as well. 60 plus setups to choose from. Go to MajorsGarage.com for more information.
Man, and I'll tell you what, Greg, that Major Series, I got to check out some of that race the other night on Sunday night, which was the 2 hours of Watkins Glen. And man, it was phenomenal to see almost close to 50 plus cars on the racetrack in 2 different categories racing each other on Watkins Glen. It was fun. MajorsGarage.com for more information as we are approaching now less than 10 laps away to halfway. This is the longest green flag run of the race so far as Huffines runs after lap traffic. He's going after Cheney, who's in 15th, to put him a lap down. Huffines is gone, but he still can't get the 20 car as he's still less than 2 seconds back to Marcus Smith, the leader, as they cross the stripe there, Grego.
but that gap is gaining more and more and more. It was about 1.4, now 1.8, now 2. It got over 2 seconds, so Marquis Smith is quicker than Dylan Huffines right now in that number 20 car. Dilly might need a little yellow to try to get himself back into this one. Saw the gap right there, a full second back. Or full straightaway back to the number 20.
Five laps less to halfway. Contact as Cheney now gets passed by Cole Raz. He's in the number 3 spot now. Cole Raz and that number 21 machine. Greg, you got to wonder if he's getting ready for the Chili Willy going up in the West Coast as more and more racing is returning for 2022. That's one of those marquee races.
Chili Willy this weekend.
And of course, the Spears SRL Tour. Yeah, Spears in Tucson, Arizona, Tucson Raceway Park. You know, Greg, that's where the Winter Heat Series used to be. That's where it started from. Tucson Raceway Park.
It's coming back for another year in 2022, kicking things off with the Chili Willy, and it's a huge entry list. I know a few guys from around here are going down, so it'll be definitely fun to watch. Ooh, Olsen got the ball a little bit there on the backstretch.
We're going on almost a 35-lap run. We're also halfway. Smith leads, Huffines is second, Raz is third, Garber, Lemke, your top 5, Kamari, Ollison, Reynolds, Cannon, Greg, your top 10 halfway at Sobo. As now we see Lemke and Kamari battle for position. Little contact. Kamari says, excuse me, coming through. Driver left. He'll clear him and go back to 5th. As Lemke falls back to 6th on the back straightaway.
They say that's for a spot in the top 5 as Kamari able to get by. Kamari looking for his best finish of the season. We can hold on. We're just past halfway. One car up the track. That's the 82, I believe, of Rush. Oh, we're going locked down, and he gets into Lemke, who has to chase it down the track. Lemke going to lose another spot to Ollison. Does a nice job keeping it relatively together, though. Oh, one car was around there on the apron. That's Ryan Bloom, the ARCA champion from 2021. But again, he's below the apron, but he's going the wrong way, and that's going to bring out the caution. The caution was not for the spin. The caution was for that, moving in the wrong direction.
And the 2021 Northwest ARCA Series champion, Ryan Bloom. Greg, we've seen a little bit of aggressiveness from Nate Garski, man. There's been a couple of times he's put the chrome hornets of people on the racetrack. Look at how badly damaged the rear end of the car 25 of Bloom is now.
After the contact with Garski, you know this helps. This helps everybody except that car right there. Marquis Smith did not want to see that caution because it was up to 2.5 seconds. Now, that's going to bring Dylan Huffines and Cole Raz and Casey Garber right back up to him.
And I'll tell you this much, lap 70 of 125, Greg, man, that ended almost a
Marquis Smith is on pit road. Wesley, the race leader on pit road.
Yeah, Marcus Smith is on
coming down pit road. I'm not sure what's going on.
He's back on track, though.
Yeah, it's like Bristol. He has to come down the backstretch and go into the front stretch.
That's right. That's right.
We'll see if he pulls into a pit stall here.
Greg,
he'll be up near the front.
Ended. Yes, man. What in the world?
That's going to give the lead to Dylan Huffines as Marquis Smith has not come around there yet. So that gives the lead to Dylan Huffines, who won.
The two best cars,
Marquis
Greg.
Smith. He had to come in. He came on the pit road. I'm not sure what that was.
Yeah. The two best cars on the racetrack so far by none has been Marquis Smith in the 20, whatever the heck that was about, and the number 7 of Dylan Huffines. They're now 1 and 2. Cole Raz, a distant third in the 21. Now Huff moved to second, or excuse me, Huffines will go to the lead. Cole Raz will move to second on the outside. There you see Garber right there behind him. We're working our way back to green flag. 72 of 125, under 50 laps to go. Lights will go off on the pace car this time by. We'll get ready for the restart. Set it up for you also with Kamari. He's in Garber third, Kamari fourth, Ollison in fifth. Lemke, Reynolds, Cannon, Duda, and Smith. Marquis Smith, Greg, will be in the top 10. He's outside row number 5 when they come back to the restart zone and come to green with under 50 laps to, well, over 50 laps to go as they come back to the start. Green flag.
Big ask, though, as we go back green, as Huffines leads him into turn number 1. Cole Raz right behind him, and the rematch from last week is on. And Cole Raz gets down to the bottom very quickly. Just like last week, they're side by side, but this time it's not for the win just yet, but they are racing for the lead with 50 laps to go.
Up the racetrack goes Huffines, Raz inside, driver left, they're there. Side by side, Raz to the lead, not yet, they're door to door out of turn 4. Oh, it's too close to call. 10 thousandths of a second, Huffines up the racetrack, Raz to the lead out of 2.
And here comes Garber. AC Garber in the 96. He wants a piece of this action. Garber's garage entry. He's just been biding his time, waiting for an opportunity. Now he's to the inside of Dylan Huffines. And he's going to clear for second. So Huffines goes from leading the race, inheriting the race lead on a head scratcher of Marquis Smith. And now he's back to third, just like that. Let's see if we can possibly figure out what happened with Marquis Smith.
Garber now up to second. Huffines falling back to third. If he lets Kamari get around him, he's going to be in the doghouse, like Greg said. Lap 79. Raz is in the lead before he gets ready for the Chili Willy Dilly Dillies at P1 in Sobo.
Lemke got a little loose there off of turn number 4 a couple laps ago. Cole Raz leads the way. Casey Garber. Hey, this is a battle we've seen quite a few times in the past in a multitude of different cars, so caution's out there. Ooh, one car blown up there on the front stretch.
Smoking. Who is that? Oh, it's Lemke. Lemke
was not the only one. Lemke was not the one that brought out the caution. Lemke was not the one that brought out the caution. The caution, I believe, was already out. Because I saw a car slow. It was not Lemke's car. Caution comes out right there. No, there's contact between him and Ollison. But there is a slow car.
That's Cheney.
There is a separate incident
That's Cheney.
Because there is a separate incident because there was a black and red car slow on the front stretch as well. And that was what we saw on screen was the black and red car. I believe it may have been the 82 of Rush that was having issues.
Well, we saw Cheney there after contact with Lemke. Lemke and Ollison battling for position. By the way, Huffines now falling back to third. Kenneth Garber now to second. Marquis Smith, Greg, pitted on the last caution. He's now up to 8th. Troy Daggett involved in a caution earlier in the 9 car. Binford Tools Machine up to 9th in the 9.
Trying to fight his way back. Remember, he led a good portion of the early race.
Shootout time coming up. Closing in. Under 40 laps to go. Raz.
Well, Raz leads. Garber's second. The good news for Huffines is he'll have that preferred line once again. Try to get back at Raz and Garber.
There you see Raz back up to the front. Kenneth Garber right beside him. Finds third. Kamari Allison. Briar Reynolds. We haven't mentioned much out of the 12. Superflow, Days of Thunder throwback colors of Cole Trickle, Greg. I know we're showing them side by side for the restart, but right there, behind Kamari, right there, Superflow car, number 12, Briar Reynolds. Nice run in the top 5 as we get ready to come to the restart zone with 40 laps to go at Sobo. Raz on the jump. He gets the field at green and he sends it to turn 1.
How about Chris Kamari and Troy Olson both still up in the top 5 as well? Good runs for some guys who definitely needed it. As here comes Raz trying to click laps away over Garber. Now finds Kamari Olson.
Back to turn 1 and 2. Raz, Garber, Huffines. They're all single file, but how long? When will the impatience settle in and they can now send it off to 3? How much patience do you have?
Look at Chris Kamari up in the 4th position and Troy Olson in 5th. If something happens to these top 3, they are right there to capitalize.
Look at
Garber taking a peek. This could be Casey Garber's move.
For the lead. Trying to reel him in. Lap 90 at the line. 35 to go next time by. He's there. Raz outside. Garber inside. Can't close the door, Greg. He couldn't do it. 35 to go at the line.
Oh, Raz holds on for now. But Casey Garber is right there lurking, and we've seen this battle a couple of times in the past in the Northwest.
Battling back to 1 and 2. Raz, Garber, 1 and 2. Huffines playing possum, hangs back. Trouble!
Oh, Troy Daggett around up there.
Daggett spins to the bottom of the apron. No caution, no caution, no caution. We'll stay green, but all the way from the top 10 to the back for the 9 of Daggett.
Upgrade.
And almost about to go a lap down,
well
Greg.
inside the top 10 again.
Wow.
It just fought his way back into the top 10 again.
Hard break for Daggett, the Binford Tools machine. Meanwhile, we are approaching almost 30 laps to go and 2 more laps. As right now, Cole Raz is leading the way. Garber gave him a shot, maybe backed off. Greg, you think it might not have been enough time? That's why he said it's just not time to come after him for the lead yet?
Just biding his time. Casey Garber knows when to push it, and he knows that now is not quite the time. If you're just even with Cole Raz, you can afford to just kind of ride it out. Dylan Huffines doesn't have as much time to work with. He's going to have to start thinking about going soon if he wants to try to get past both of these guys.
96 of 125. We saw a stretch of the race, if you remember, when we went almost from lap 30 to 70, a 40-lap green flag run, Greg. We talked about it. As there you see Dan Lowther's car on the pit lane. Garber
He's coming
after
back
Raz.
out 80 laps down. Dan Lowther coming back out 81 laps down, Wesley. Not sure what happened, but something happened in the first 20 laps for the number 63. And he had dropped out of the race entirely. He had gotten out of the car and was off at the trailer doing something. They finally got whatever it was worked out, but he's back on the track to try to finish and try to gain at least a couple of spots here.
About to be a century grind through. Garber inside Raz. Raz not backing off. Huffines, there you see him there to third. Side by side. Next time by, 100 laps down and 25 laps remaining. Ready, leaning on one another. Garber put 100 on the scoreboard. 25 to go. It's Slobo. Greg out of 4. It's Garber to the lead.
He led that lap just barely over Raz, who's fighting back on the outside. We've seen this battle before, and this is allowing Huffines to plot his next move. He's got anything left in the tires as KC Garber, multi-time mini-stock champion, gets the lead from Cole Raz. Garber leads the Sobo.
Garber is literally waited patient to make his move. And now he's up in
There's
front.
Huffines and Chris
Allison and
Canary
Smith are
lurking
going
as
at it in
well.
the back.
Chris Canary
Did you
lurking
see
as
those
well.
two
He
cars,
can try to
Greg?
capitalize.
Greg Allison in the 49 and Smith in the 20 in the back. We're watching just a glimpse of them in the back there. Brian Reynolds also in the pink 12. They were getting antsy with each other coming off the corner. We got to watch that as we also watch the leaders go at it.
Dylan Huffines has decided it's go time into number 7 if he wants to try to get up there. Back at Raz and Garber. And Chris Camary's back there riding in 4th right there in that Napa-inspired paint scheme saying, come on, guys, do something, do something, do something. Let me back in this. There's going to be 20 laps to go when they get to the line. There's the battle going on for 5th between Smith and Olison.
Yep, 20 to go. 20 remaining now as they settle in. And we're coming up on another long green flag run, Greg, too.
Look at that lap traffic in front of the 96 of Casey Garber. Could this play a factor in how this ends?
You know, Greg,
Look at
this
all those
race has
cars.
really surprised me tonight. It surprised me. It's not being, if you will, a wreck fest like we've seen like maybe last week at USA. It's actually been a pretty darn good show. And it's not over yet.
It's been great. Dan Lauder has gotten an extra position, and the caution is out. That's going to change everything.
Oh, we got a parking lot over there. Looks like the 44 is involved.
Oh, the leader,
Nate
Casey
Garski.
Garber.
Oh, wow.
Wesley, that's the leader, Casey Garber. What in the world happened in lap traffic?
We're about to find out.
Garski going high
There's
to try
the 44.
to let the leader through. Oh, it happened in front of them.
Happened in front
Something
of them.
happened in front. Cheney involved. Someone got together with Cheney, and the leader, Casey Garber, got a piece. Let's take a look at the replay.
Ritters and Cheney beside
I
each
saw
other.
Terry Ackerman. There's Cheney. Ackerman up there in front. So Garber gets past Ritters, gets past Garski.
Maybe Ackerman and Cheney here, Greg.
Ackerman and Cheney possibly get together
Yep,
right
there it is.
there. And nowhere for Casey Garber to go. Cole Raz gets a piece as well.
Nowhere to go. Oh, man.
Raz got a piece of the wall.
Wow.
15 laps to go,
And
you
this
can
will give
see
the lead
now
to
the
Cole
damage on the
Raz.
27.
This will give the lead
See
to Cole
the damage,
Raz.
though. But Wesley, look at the left side of the car. A lot of damage to the 27, the race leader.
So
look at the damage to that 27 car.
So this is short track racing, Greg. How bad is that going to mess up the car? Do you think? Does he need to pit?
It's not the air. He can't pit. He can't have a fast repair. He can't afford to.
That's right.
The problem
no
is not going to be. The problem's not going to be the aerodynamics of the car. The problem's going to be, did he knock the toe out? That was a decent shot to the inside wall for the number 27. Is the toe affected on the 27 car? That's what you're worried about right now if you're the 27 car. That is a lot of damage on the left front, and that was a decent shot to the inside wall. If I'm Cole Raz, I'm worried right now.
And if you're Dylan Huffines, you're going to stay to the outside and not get anywhere near the 21 on the restart and try to get by him, because this might be a handling issue for that 21 car. Timing and scoring says 21. It's the 27 on your screen of Cole Raz. And look at him checking it real quick, Greg. Look at that. He's checking it real quickly to see.
Trying to shake it out and see if there's a problem. But I gotta say, I don't have a whole lot of confidence in that 27 car right now. I have confidence in the driver. I don't have confidence in the car. We'll have to see what it does here this first couple laps. Green flag is out, 12 laps to go.
12 lap shootout. A dozen laps remain here at Sobo. Raz, damaged, beaten, battered, banged, and bandaged up in front. Here comes now Smith and Camary battling for third. 11 to go.
Who made that move to pit road earlier, has fought back onto the podium now, battling with Camary, but Dylan Huffines is all over Cole Raz, and this is setting up identical to last week.
Whoa!
Oh, Smith with a bobble, and Camary gets away.
Kamari now moving up to third. Huffines is next. Dilly. Here comes now the 59 to the inside. That's the other Garber. Trouble!
We're not done yet. We got
gets
trouble.
into Cannon on the back straightaway. They're racking back stretch and the caution's out. Wow.
Troy Allison, David
Not
Cannon.
over yet.
I think I saw Angel Ortega down there. Here we go yellow.
Watch the
One more
replay.
time. Let's go on board with David Cannon. It's Troy Allison right there in that white car. Gets into Briar Reynolds. Nowhere for Cannon to go. Troy Daggett involved. Andrew Lemke gets through. Yikes. So Cole Raz is going to have to go on defense again.
Wow.
But the good news is...
Oh, this is good because we're under caution.
This is good for Cole. Because this is going to click
That's
down
right.
several more laps.
I'm thinking it'll probably be 4 laps to go
About
when the
that,
green
yes.
flag flies. Maybe 5, something like that. By the way, thanks to Major's
We'll see.
Garage. More details at majorsgarage.com. Getting those in the chat box on the broadcast feed. Man, close to 40 viewers tonight. Welcome to you. It's almost midnight on the East Coast. It is 11 o'clock Central Time Zone. It's 9 o'clock on the West Coast. Greg, how much snow you got in Spokane, Washington, up in the Pacific Northwest U.S.?
We had about 1.5 feet, but it's about half melted off now. It's going away.
You can keep that.
Hey, you guys got some
We
this
had a
weekend
chance.
from what I saw.
We did. We lucked up, though. We lucked up, man. I'll tell you. I saw a couple of nice little snow flurries, a couple of time or two. It was more windy than anything else, man. I'll tell you, Greg, without all the snow and the blizzard, it was like a nor'easter that came through here with like 60, 70 mile an hour winds. I mean, it was crazy. You know, and in the wintertime, when it's 20 degrees outside and you got 60 mile an hour winds, please.
They got the text from Aunt Kathy. Shout out Tigers. They got the dub in Othello. Shout out Ephrata Tigers with the win in Othello tonight.
There you go. 5 laps remaining. It's going to be 4 laps to go. 2 attempts at a green right checker if needed. Will we bring this one to the finish? 120 on the board. Lap 121. Raz, toe in, broken it all. Back to the green flag in the restart zone, and Raz is gone. Huffines, Kamari, 1, 2, and 3 out of Sobo out of 2.
Now, what does Huffines do? After last week at USA, he said he did not mean to use the bumper, but this is setting up identical to what happened last week. 3 laps to go. Can Huffines get by as Kamari has to battle off Smith again? In that number 20 car, Chris Kamari looking for his first career podium with the series. If he can fend off Marquis Smith, that's going to help. A bobble there from Smith as they're coming to 2 laps to go. Chris Kamari sitting pretty for a podium as it's on now between Raz and Huffines. Rematch from Lakeland. Here we go again.
Back straight away. They're ready to bring this one to the finish. They'll work their way at a turn number 3 and 4 to the line. The CRN 1 to go. More details at wearecrn.com. High school, college basketball, iRacing coming back in February. Huffines with a shot on the inside of Raz. Raz is not outside, is there. He blocks him. He comes off 4. It's going to be Cole Raz before the Chili Willy. He wins and holds off Dilly and Sobo. Round number 8.
Raz gets
goes
redemption.
to
Raz
Cole
gets
Raz.
redemption.
Razzle-dazzle.
He holds
Yes,
off
sir.
Huffines this time with the damage on the number 27 car. And how about it for Scary Kamari? Chris Kamari picking up a podium here tonight with the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. He's from New England. As Dan Lowther upside down as they do the Northwest High Five. But hey, Cole Raz, he was in the Kowicki Driver Development Program last year, so we know what he's going to do. He's going to do the Polish Victory Lap in celebration and tribute to Alan Kowicki.
He will celebrate. Shades of what the 1992 NASCAR Winston Cup champion did. Originally from Wisconsin, a member last year and the year before of the Alan Kowicki Driver Development Program. Thanks, shout out to my buddy Tom Roberts. And, of course, Luke Finhouse winning the championship for the KDDP this year. And Cole Raz right there celebrating. It is the Northwest High Five salute. As always they do. Man, good times, Greg. Good race. Cole Raz getting the win. Oh, and by the way, Dilly Huffines, you're not going to be in the doghouse tonight. Girlfriend, give him hugs and kisses. Valentine's Day just about less than a month away. He'll finish in the number 2 spot. Chris Camary, what a run for him tonight. Finishes in 3rd. And, Greg, I got to mention again the Superflow colors of Briar Reynolds in the Days of Thunder throwback, number 12. A good, solid top 4. Whatever happened to make him pit, he comes back and finishes in the top 5. Marcus Smith in 20. Colton Garber, Ryan Bloom, Ackerman, Allison Cannon, top 10. By the way, only 7 cars on the lead lap when the checker failed.
Ackerman, Olson running it out there. There's Troy Daggett, an up and down night. Finishes in the 11th position, 9 laps down. Casey Garber was leading with 20 laps to go and gets caught up in an accident. Eric Cheney involved in that as well. Nate Garski had an up and down night. Andrew Lemke rounds out the top 15. Toby Ritters, Alex Duda, Tyler Kim, Zach Rush, and Austin Ackerman round out the top 20. Wesley, bring them home.
Hell, the rest of the rundown will include Dan Lowther, Dana Rogers, Angel Ortega, and, of course, Bryce Clark was parked, disqualified, and not able to run the feature event. Coming up, finish line, post-race wrap-up. By the way, due to obligations tomorrow with long meetings as well as basketball that will go into the afternoon, we will not be doing finish line live tomorrow. It will return hopefully next Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern. Obviously, it changes now because of the crazy afternoon schedule instead of morning. But anyhow, finish line, post-race wrap-up is next. Cole Raz, we'll talk to him. We'll talk to Dylan Huffines, find out why he's in the doghouse with the girlfriend, and so much more. Stick around. We're ready to do it from Sobo. As, again, Dylan Huffines could not get around Cole Raz. Broken toe in and all. He still wins here in round 8 of the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. Hey, welcome back to coverage, and it is now time for the finish line post-race wrap. Greg Rentz, Wesley Outland back here with you. Don't forget finish line every Wednesday, PM Eastern, 1 Central, though we're not live tomorrow on your coverage. And, of course, thanks to video on LSRTV Productions. We're going to grab now our 3rd place finisher, man, Chris Camary. It's got to be like a win for you, bud. I was bragging about how good this car was tonight. And a good, strong run. Your take of the race here at Sobo.
Oh, heck yeah, Bob. That's why I was doing donuts on the front stretch. They give me crap like 3rd place. What are you doing? That's the best I do, man. I don't know. I guess it was just driving real good tonight. Got a good setup and just hung in there. Stayed out of trouble. Only screwed over 2 people. Teammates, of course. But I don't know. Just held in there good.
Chris, tell us about as the race wore on and you find yourself getting closer and closer to the front. What's going through your mind knowing that, hey, you have a shot at the top 10. Oh, now it's a shot at the top 5. Oh, now it's a shot at the podium. What goes through your mind as the intensity ramps up, which it always does at the end of the race, and you're just finding yourself creeping higher and higher and higher on the pylon?
So far from what I expected. I qualified way in the back, and then he said, heading up in the top 10, cool, I might get top 10 out of this. Coming up on 3rd, and what was that? Casey had an incident there, and I got into 3rd. And then I get a couple of yellows there, and I got some good people on my tail, and I'm awful worried, but it worked out for me, so awesome night for me.
Hey, Chris, but it's got to feel good for you, bud, because normally you're one of those guys that has handling problems, or you get caught up in the accident, or you get stuck in a B-main and you make the feature. Man, this is like I mean, this is a good way to turn it around, especially with 2 weeks left to go in the season.
Oh, for sure. Like you said, this is practically a win for me. I'm happier than pig and poop right now.
Pitter patter, bud.
Pitter patter. Let's get going.
Oh. Thank your sponsors, buddy, for you make me choke to death.
Well, thank 15 Studios for wrapping my car and wrapping a bunch of those cars out there, and Eric and Dan getting some good setups going, and yeah, definitely couldn't have got the car around the track without those guys and everyone else that puts in on the cars as well.
Probably his best finish of the season for the Northwest Pro Late Model Series winner, heat number 15, Chris Camary. He'll settle on the podium for third. Second spot, number 7, Dylan Huff finds. Dylan, why was your girlfriend going to put you in the doghouse tonight, man? What did you do? And obviously, she's got to be happy now you got second place.
She was going to do what?
Well, we were told you're going to be in the doghouse
Dylan,
if you didn't
Caden
finish in the
texted
top
me
3.
before the race and said if you did not finish on the top 3, you were, quote, in the doghouse. So we were hoping you could elaborate on that.
Oh, boy, I don't even know. I didn't hear nothing about that. I just shut the phone down and race.
Well, hey, the race today, a good run for you. Your respect factor, just couldn't put the bumper to Cole Raz, obviously, and you happy with second?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with second. I gained some points tonight on some of the other guys, I think. I don't know. I'll have to look at the points after. But I really didn't want to move him or anything. It's not like how I like to race. Just couldn't get to him cleanly to get underneath him. He had a better handling car there, even with his damage. I just missed the setup tonight, and hopefully we can come back and get him next time.
Dylan, tell us about having to pick your way through, because we saw you get towards the wall very, very early. Was there any damage from that you had to fight through, or was the car still in good shape after that initial contact?
Yeah, I was trying to hold my line on the outside, and somebody pushed up into me. I forgot who it was, but I almost touched the wall. I got loose. I know Eric hit me, not on purpose, but I had a little bit of damage. I don't think it was affecting me too bad, because I mean, I was still able to be pretty quick. Just it might have affected me a little bit, but I don't know. It's really hard to tell because I was still up front most of the race. Just kind of had to be patient and pick my way back cars slowly and take my time so I don't get involved in anything.
Dylan, this race was rather interesting. Obviously, no caution flags, as many as we saw at USA or Southern National or Langley or Near, as we've seen in the past. It had its stretch of green flag runs. Did that change the collection of racing and having to settle for the podium finish tonight, obviously?
Definitely. My car was more of a short run car, but you know, before some of those cautions hit, I know Casey and Cole were both behind me by a little ways, and Marquise was ahead of me, or Marcus, and I had a little bit of a gap in front of them, and I was just fortunate not to be involved in any of the cautions. I know some of the leaders got caught up in them later on, but I'm just glad I can keep my nose clean and finish where I was, because I finished ahead of the people I needed to tonight, which was the biggest deal for me, and hopefully gain some points. We'll see.
All right, buddy, before we let you go, thank your sponsors and second spot here tonight.
Just want to thank Vincent Enterprises, Can Do Trucking, Haley Manufacturing, and that's about it.
Well, there's Dylan Huffines at the number 7. And by the way, I think I said we're down to the final 2 races. We actually got 3 races left, though, believe it or not. And we're going to go through all that here in a moment. We go to victory lane now, and it is Cole Raz. Cole, was you worried how badly damaged that car was on the toe-in, on suspension, on the left front? Did it change the way you raced the final 15 laps, or was it still just give it everything you got, and congratulations to you?
Well, first and foremost, thank you, Wesley. I think the damage did worry me there under the yellow, but after I went into 1, it didn't really hurt me a whole lot. Just didn't look very pretty. So still busted off a few good lap times there, and I think the last 5 laps I was just more so worried of not screwing up and letting Dylan get back to me like he did at USA. So that was in the back of my mind, and luckily we were able to hold him off.
Cole, when the incident happened and you inherited inherited the lead from Garber, we said on the broadcast that we were confident in your ability to drive the car even with the damage. We just weren't sure just how bad the car was. On a scale of, say, 1 to 10, what was the car handle after the wreck as opposed to before the wreck?
I mean, it's kind of hard to say just because, we weren't very good there on the short runs. So I think we were just polar opposites there with Dylan, where he was better on the short runs and we'd reel him in on the long run. But, I put it down the middle on a scale to a 5. I think it just snuck me up a little bit more on center exit. And, I feel like we were lacking there towards the end of the race anyways. So it just kind of increased that just a little bit. But it really wasn't too bad. I think it would have been a little bit tougher because my distance to the car in front of me would be a lot shorter if I had to move somebody. So just had to keep that in the back of my head.
Cole, it's got to be good to have a long time coming, man. I know you've wanted to try to break through into victory lane with this Northwest Pro Series. What does it mean to finally get one under your belt here at Sobo?
I mean, it feels good. It's always nice to come out here and have a good run. I feel like we've been under the bad luck blanket for a while. So, even we had some unfortunate luck there towards the end. I really feel for Ken Garber there. He really saved my life with the setup tonight, not doing any practice. So, I'm unfortunate. It's unfortunate he got caught up in that deal. It's just, lap cars currently in this series are not racing with a lot of respect, as we've seen there. So, unfortunate for him. And, I know he would have been there to contend for the win without a doubt.
Hey, you're one of our iRacers. You're one of the real racers, too. Man, what's your thoughts going into the Chili Willy this weekend at Tucson?
Oh, well, I'm not going to be going down there. I haven't raced Tucson for the last year and a half, so, see what kind of car count they get and see how the track surface holds up and how all the officiating goes, because that's been an issue the last few years.
Yes.
We'll see how that all goes. I got a few good friends heading down there, so hopefully they can go bring home the 10K. But, our main focus is at the All-Star Showdown 2 weeks after on February 5th. So, we're going all in for that and see what we can go do.
Yeah, that's going to be at Irwindale Speedway. That's a track I've had the privilege to announce that in California about 5 years ago, so that's a pretty cool place. And Cole, congratulations to you, man. He is the winner here tonight for round number 8 of what is the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. By the way, we got 3 races left, Greg. I just found out from Eric Cheney and Dan Lowther, the directors of the series. We are going to take a week off next Tuesday, my friend. We're off next Tuesday. But then we come back with a 3-week run to the championship, and these racetracks include Oxford Plains, Iowa, and another track that I grew up at as a kid, home of the Big Ten Series, now dormant, Concord. It doesn't get any better than that, buddy. Your closing thoughts here at Sobo.
It was a wild night at Sobo, just like we predicted, and of course, it wouldn't be short track racing without a little bit of contact, and we saw a lot of it at the end of that one, but Cole Raz comes out on top. What a job by our drivers here tonight. Dylan Huffines able to fight back for second, and how about Chris Cameri coming home with a podium finish for his first career podium with the series? That's got to feel good for the number 15, all the way from New Hampshire, comes and races with us on Tuesday night. It's good for him to get a podium. This was a fun one. Week off next week. We're back on it in 2 weeks, though.
Yeah, you heard what he said. I mean, for Cameri, it was like a win. What a save there for Huffines. Of course, also for Rast having the damage on the left front, being there at the end when it counted the most, and he got it done. We're next week. Then it's Oxford Plains. Then it's Iowa. Then it's Concord. The Northwest Pro Late Model Series winner heat on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. And for everybody at Rock Media for live sim racing, for Charles Wooten as well as Jeff Stabnow, for Greg Rentz, I'm Wesley Outland. Congratulations, Cole Raz, finally a winner on the Northwest Pro Late Model Series. Be good.